In this century, great strides have been made toward the goal of subverting our republic into a democracy. The foremost tactic of the subverters is subversion of language. By calling America a democracy until people thoughtlessly accept and use the term, the totalitarians have obscured the real meaning of our principles of government. That is a summary of my report on a constitutional republic, not a democracy.
Welcome back to Notify America. We have multiple pressing stories to get to, stories that include Joe Biden's border crisis that has now exhausted public resources, and people are resorting to opening their homes now in Detroit, Michigan to help with the overflow. Also on January 1st, California officially becomes the first state to provide free health care to illegal immigrants. In California as well, by the way, along coastal California, they're experiencing what many people are calling these mini tsunamis. Authorities are even sending these text message alerts warning residents to stay away from the ocean, and evacuation orders have begun in certain areas. We have the footage. It's pretty amazing. The Justice Department decides to announce on yesterday evening, that they're dropping the campaign finance charges against Sam Bankman-Fried, the Democrat mega donor and crypto exchange founder. So another win, unfortunately, for the swamp of Washington, D.C. We have the details. Also, Elon Musk brings attention to the illegal immigration issue in a big way by retweeting this stunning new data point. We're going to get into the details from all these stories during this video. But before we get started, press the like button, subscribe, share the video with a friend. All of that helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Beginning on January 1, in just 2 days, the state of California begins to provide free health care to all legal immigrants who qualify for the Medi-Cal healthcare program. That's like their version of Medicare. The updated program will reportedly provide free coverage for approximately 700,000 illegal immigrants aged 26 to 49. This makes California the first state to extend free health care to illegal immigrants regardless of their immigration status or their age. State lawmakers celebrated this, what they referred to at the time of, as a amazing accomplishment last May when they first passed this updated 2024 budget. It was approved and signed by Gavin Newsom. Let me know if you think this is a good idea considering California's running a $68 billion budget deficit right now and has mass homelessness. There are American citizens right now who are going without shelter, without health care. I mean, is this the best place to use Californians' tax money on? Let me know in the comments. In another story, also out of California, a freak weather event has been bombarding coastal towns up and down the state over the last 24 hours, causing what many people are referring to as mini tsunamis that have left 8 people hospitalized. Here's some footage captured by local residents. Watch this.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh God! Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Run! Run!
Another story, Elon Musk brought worldwide attention to the illegal immigration problem the United States is currently facing after he reposted this chart to his X account showing how for the first time on record, illegal immigrants are now outpacing American births. Prior to 2020, during the Trump administration, the U.S. averaged around 50,000 new illegal immigrants per month, but since President Biden took office, those numbers have exploded, crossing 300,000 people per month since August. The chart stops at October 2023, but we know that December has been the worst month in the history of the U.S. southern border, averaging around 18,000 crossings now per day. The numbers have grown so large that cities are becoming overwhelmed and are exhausting public resources, available to support these people. We played a video clip of New York City mayor pleading with the Biden White House the other day to do something about this, as New York City has surpassed its breaking point. He said the shelters are completely full and people are now going hungry and are left homeless. Well, this isn't only happening in New York City, Denver, Chicago, but also Detroit, Michigan, as the city can reportedly no longer provide accommodations to the massive quantity of new migrants. The Detroit News reports that the African Bureau of Immigration and Social Affairs, who aids migrants settling in the U.S. It's an NGO, and we know about NGOs. We talked about them in a prior video, how they're organizing, like most of this, is now taking it upon themselves to find alternative shelter for these people, as shelters are just overrun. Many are going homeless, saying that residents have now begun to open their homes and host multiple migrants, even though U.S. law restricts the number of people in a single-family home. In another story, the Department of Justice is dropping their campaign finance charges for SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, the crypto exchange that was found guilty of defrauding investors, siphoning their money and using it to keep his trading house afloat. Well, another part of the story is the $40 to $80 million in political donations that he made during 2022. Remember this?
The guy you see next to me is the most generous billionaire in the world, and I found him.
Hi, my name is Sam, and this is my story.
Last year, this 29-year-old guy donated $50 million. Next year, he's planning to donate $500 million a year. And next decade, he will probably give away more than $10 billion.
The amount of good that you can do for the future of the world is really large, and it's way more than you can do to actually make yourself happy with anything like that amount of money.
And he is funding everything you can think of. Global warming.
It's one of the biggest problems that we have to tackle together as a world.
COVID-19 preparedness.
We have to be ready for the next pandemic.
Now, this is an important story, folks, because it shows how deep the rock goes in Washington. It just bails itself out. Different parts of the system help each other out, because the DOJ just decided they're no longer proceeding with a second trial, which was slated to start in March. The first trial wrapped up last month, and the jury found SBF guilty of all 7 criminal counts. He's now facing 115 years in prison. The judge is scheduled to decide his sentence in March of 2024, but the charges that were politically sensitive, charges that included bribery and campaign finance, have magically disappeared. The Justice Department decided to announce their decision yesterday evening, Friday night, before a 3-day weekend. Let me know what you think. Did they drop the charges because it's a waste of money to conduct a second trial after he's already facing so much prison time, or are too many powerful politicians worried about what will be brought to light, worried about being implicated if this trial were to move forward? Well, SBF, he's tightly linked to Democrat politicians. Both his parents are steeped in Democrat dark money and election tactics. His parents, by the way, are both currently being sued in an effort to try to claw back some of the $26 million that were fraudulently transferred or misappropriated by their son. Well, they're being accused of siphoning off millions in FTX funds to benefit their pet causes, left-wing pet causes. Well, all of the bribes and political entanglements between the Frieds and politicians in Washington appear to have just been buried with this DOJ announcement yesterday. We're going to keep an eye on this lawsuit, though, this civil lawsuit against the parents, and see what new information comes out of that. But at the moment, another win for the swamp, folks, the pit of Washington, D.C. All right, that wraps up this episode. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.